Welcome back to the Radio Horror YouTube channel. This time we're discussing, in my opinion, the worst movie of the year. Yes, it's 2020, February 23rd, 2020, the date that we're recording this, and I already declare this one of the worst movies of the year. I hope this wins Razzie of the year because it's that bad. The only highlight in this movie is Maggie Q because I heart Maggie Q so much. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the worst movie of the year with Katie, the blonde in front of fear, and Fantasy Island.
Yes, friends and fiends. It is me, the blonde in front of fear, here to talk to you about Fantasy Island, directed by Jeff Wadlow, who you may recall directed Blumhouse's Truth or Dare and Kick-Ass 2, and written by Gillian Jacobs and Christopher Roach. This is starring Maggie Pugh, Lucy Hale, Ryan Hansen, Jimmy O Yang. Mr. Work himself is played by Michael Pena, and then a little cameo by Mike Vogel. Now, this is, if you know Fantasy Island, then it starts out like a Fantasy Island, other than there's a girl being not necessarily tortured, but being chased by a bunch of henchmen and trying to find help. And then it goes into the beautiful, picturesque seaplane that lands on the island, and a girl named Julia goes to Mr. Work and says that the guests have arrived. Each guest comes out with, their personalities, practically on their sleeves. Lucy Hale's a little bit saucy. You got Ryan Hansen and Jimmy O Yang playing brothers JD and Brax. Maggie Q is absolutely stunning and breathtaking. I mean, she is. Now, each guest has one fantasy that they can have fulfilled. The thing with the island is that anything and everything is possible. But again, you have one fantasy. Each person starts to get their fantasy. Lucy Hale's character wants to take revenge on a high school bully. Maggie Q wants to relive a regret that she has. The brothers want to have, everything. And then this other character named Patrick wants to go back and be a soldier and, be a hero. Here's the thing with this film. One, when it comes to the end of it, I'm not going to give anything away, but the ending totally contradicts that main thing that you only get one wish, because that is not how the ending works. Also, there's a very big tell in the film from the beginning. One of the characters is on vacation. You are on vacation in this amazing picturesque place. They whip out a framed picture of which I can only assume was their significant other. But I'm like, why would you bring a framed picture of someone on a vacation? It's just so random and weird. I'm not going to get into much of this film because honestly, this was kind of a waste of my time. This is a TV movie that I just didn't understand wasn't a TV movie. Like, I'm really surprised that this was actually made for the big screen. I think it would do much better if it was on television. It even seemed like it had breaks for commercials. The special effects in a lot of the stuff, like people get stabbed, and apparently there's no blood on Fantasy Island because they don't have blood on the knives or the machetes. People are having their arms cut off, and then apparently you can just put your hand over it and it's fine. I really questioned why this cast, because it's a pretty damn good cast, would want to do this film. I don't know if there's different things that happen in the script that then changed, but then I thought, you know what, who cares? You're getting paid to make a film in frickin' Fiji. Who cares if it's a piece of crap or not? I mean, a paycheck is a paycheck, and a free trip to this paradise is a free trip to this paradise. Would I say go see this film? No, not really. There's besides the ending and the reason why this is happening, and I want to say the reason. I don't know. Hey, Chris, are you going to do spoilers or not?
Yeah, I really don't care because I hated this movie. I mean, again, the highlight for me was Maggie Q and Michael Pena.
Michael Pena, Mr. Rourke, which honestly, there was a time I couldn't tell if he was supposed to be a good guy or a bad guy. I know he's supposed to be in between, but he definitely seemed like he was not the good guy.
Yeah. Also,
People find
what's funny is that as much as I love that actor, he does not hold a candle to Ricardo Montalban, Khan, or Malcolm McDowell, who are the other two actors who have played that character.
Let's talk about some mistakes, major mistakes that they made when one of the characters decides to film what she's going to do. This character named Melody, who's played by Lucy Hale, she's going to film torturing her bully from high school. She puts her camera up and is recording it. When they show that, here's the thing. These are little things that I noticed, but it's a dumb mistake. When you're recording, it has the timestamp. When it goes back to the timestamp and you're losing like 2 minutes, that to me says this isn't, I don't know what you're doing. You're not looking at the details. But also, there's just so many weird people in it that I did not expect. Like, okay, spoiler. Michael Rooker's in there. What? I mean, he's not in any of the promos that I've seen, which I could probably understand why. And then you've got Kim Coates again. What are you doing here? But let's talk about this, kids. This whole thing ends up being a giant, if we're going to spoil it, then I'm going to spoil it. This whole thing ends up being a giant ruse. Everyone on the island, or all the guests that are on the island, are apparently there because there's one person whose wish was to have revenge on someone that died. Everyone only gets one wish. Well, apparently this person got 2 wishes because, lo and behold, blah, 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 Melanie, Lucy Hale, who the director also worked with in Truth or Dare, is the one who gets 2 wishes. She wanted to torture her person from high school, and then she also wanted to make sure that everyone died who apparently had something to do with a person that she went on. And I wrote this down, and seriously, 5 minutes after I did this, one of the characters in the film said the same thing. Went on one date with. But as she even explains it, it doesn't even sound like it was one date. They had coffee, and then we're going to go on one date. And then this guy died, so then she decides to kill everyone that had something to do with his possible death. Wow! That's a lot of work and effort into one coffee date. I mean, come on, girl. You need to have a little bit of pride in yourself. I mean, I know this was a great date and you're down on your luck, but this isn't going to look well for the rest of single women out there. Like, I mean, that is some pressure. Plus the fact that he was supposed to meet her for the date and he didn't show up, but he was in his apartment, kind of tells me that maybe he wasn't going to show up for the date. That, I don't know, since his roommates even said that they thought he wasn't there because he was supposed to meet a girl.
Let me ask you this: the Fountain of Miracle Wishes. Do you even remember? Have you ever seen the original Fantasy Island, the 2 shows that came prior to this movie?
I mean, with Ricardo Montalban and Hervé Leger. Yeah.
And Malcolm McDowell in the second one?
Didn't see that one.
Okay.
Saw the original.
Okay, was it like Westworld with... Okay, I barely remember it, and I didn't have time to go and rewatch old episodes of a show I was never invested in to begin with. Was it like Westworld, where they like sex bots that they just built in a lab to make it look like your fantasy came true? Or was it like a magic wand that you could just make anything happen because magic has no limits? What was the secret behind getting the fantasies to come true in the original? Because in this, it's like a fountain that turns people into radio-controlled zombies, basically.
There is no explanation for in the original Fantasy Island series. There was no magic wand or anything like that. It was the island. The island was granted your fantasies.
So there was no explanation about how the fantasies came true.
No, like there's no explanation of how everyone who was on the Love Boat managed to fall in love.
Okay.
It was a series on ABC, so they didn't want to go into too much depth into what was going on.
Okay. Do you like the fact that there's like this Lost, by Lost I mean TV's Lost, that was on ABC for 6 years, explanation behind the magic of the island, or would you rather it just be horror for horror's sake?
I didn't mind the explanation. I just thought that it was kind of, I mean, when you're going to the Mr. Work kind of thing and his wife, it didn't make sense to me that he'd want her to die every single day and go through the pain that she was going through rather than as long as everyone got their wishes and did other stuff rather than just let her go and have her memory. That seems like it's more cruel than kind. I mean, it's, yeah, every single time that someone came to the island, she would have to die, which seemed like a very, very painful death. That doesn't seem like love to me.
No, it doesn't. Well, yeah, again, I absolutely was just like, oh, why am I watching this movie? Fantasy Island, don't go see it. Check it out.
Oh, one thing I did like the little bit of a nod to Friday the 13th at the end. I thought that was kind of funny.
Gotcha. Kim Coates, sorry, yeah, from Sons of Anarchy. Love him in everything. He always gets a pass for me because he was such a lovable, butthole on Sons of Anarchy. Check out the rest of the videos here on the Radio Horror YouTube channel, everybody. Check out Katie's website and her Facebook page for the rest of her amazing reviews and her upcoming gig.
Oh, on Girl TV. Yes.
Thank you, everybody.